And we are going to start in three, two, one. What is up, everybody? I am the SL artist, and you are tuned into the Unedited Podcast. I am here with my best friend, the very beautiful, the very sexy, the very intelligent, independent Naomi.
Hey, what's up? What's going on, guys?
What is up? What have you been up to?
Man, what have I not been getting into?
So,
Sorry.
okay. So I'm asking you this because there was a long time that I was disconnected from a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I apologize for that. But now I no longer am
No,
because
for sure. Absolutely. No, thanks for. No, I apologize too because I think it's always a two-way street, never one and the other. I have the same access to picking up my phone, and so I'm getting out of my cocoon as well to go back and reach out.
well, the thing is that you've been living in Vegas, and the time that we did spend together, it was here in San Diego. And when you moved out there, we did kind of disconnect. But there was a part of time where you did get a chance to come out here.
I did.
But I had somebody holding me back from that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and now I don't. So
Yeah.
now we get to hang out with each other a
Hey,
lot more.
that's right. That's actually same here.
Yeah.
So a very similar situation. But, everything happens for a reason where I feel like we are here still today and we kind of just pick up where we left off as and I think that's always a great thing and as a good friend
Yeah.
to do.
Exactly. And it was really tough before because what's funny is I've been called toxic and I was like, how the hell was I toxic? But now that I'm with the people, like I heard that you are the average of the 5 people that you hang out with the most.
Yes.
And at the time, I had a lot of like when I first started dating somebody, and I'm not gonna mention any names because I'm actually talking about more than one person. But when I started dating somebody, I've wanted to do so many different projects, and I was running with it. Like there was nightclubs that I was working with. There were a lot of things, but then at the time I was so infatuated with somebody, and then next thing you know, it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna prioritize everything consciously,
Right.
to cater to this person because it's like, okay, I should be working on this, but then she calls me and was like, oh, babe, I want to go out to eat, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna drop everything that I can
Right.
just to spend time
Why
with them.
is that?
It's the infatuation, because you get these blinders on,
Yeah.
and then you don't see anything else except for that other person.
Right,
And-
totally. And I've heard this numerous times of people who knows themselves enough to know like, oh, I can't the time that I'm trying to like do work on myself, I can't get in a relationship because I know when I get into one, I just throw everything away and I'm just all about that person and nothing gets accomplished. Like
Yeah.
I don't get shit done. So it's like
And that in itself is toxic, but on yourself,
right.
Let me ask you this. So, have you ever been in a relationship and when it starts to get to the bad part or like the ending of it, do they ever say you've changed? They're like, "Oh, you're not the person that you were when we first started dating or something."
no, actually they didn't tell me that. I know for myself that I was aware that I could admit that
Oh,
I
okay.
wasn't the same. So
Okay.
I never was told that I was changed because I was upfront and be like, I'm not the same. And like I was okay of actually pointing that out so that I know that I could be okay with that at the end of
Yeah.
the day. That I am changing and the way that I'm evolving and in my my adulthood. I just know that like it's not who I was that when you met me at 19 years old. Okay. 'Cause,
Yeah.
getting out of a 6-7 year relationship, that's all I knew for that time period from the age I was like 19 to 25. So I mean, of course, that time in my life, there's tremendous change, and I knew I wasn't the same, but I knew it was only bettering myself. Whether that looked like him being in the picture or not, I just knew that I had to take care of myself first, and so that's when it came to know the difference of being selfish and self love. Having self love and rather like knowing the difference between the two. But,
Yeah. It's weird. The reason I brought this up is because it's happened so many times, and I think that it happens a little bit more with guys than it does with girls, because guys, girls are such, for the lack of better terms, and I'm not trying to objectify you, but girls are such trophies to us. Like, we do whatever we can to attain our ideal perfect woman. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
we change ourselves for that. But it's funny because when I first was dating somebody, I would I would sideline all of the projects that I was working on and all of the things that I should have been focusing on, just so that I could focus on her.
Right.
But then, it comes to a point where it's like, okay, I actually do want to spend my life with this person. And how do I take the next step into adulthood? Well, I had a hustle. You know, I had things that I was proficient in, and I was like, okay, well, let me get back into this because this was actually making me money. I can eventually get a place with her. I can propose to her. We can start a family together.
Right.
But then when I started doing that, then she started resenting me because it's like, oh, now you want to spend time at the clubs. Oh, now you want to do these photo shoots with these girls and stuff like that. And it's like, you know what? That's who I was before you met me. These are the things that you told me that was attracting you to me. But then she made me give all of that up. And then it's like,
See,
now,
that's not right. I
Yeah.
don't think that's fair in a lot of cases that we
Yeah.
put ourselves in those situations to allow people to decide that for us when one, it is all of our choices what we choose to stay in relationships because of the fact that, oh yeah, I do see a future with her, but how is it that it's not aligning with the things that I actually enjoy doing? Like,
Yeah.
it shouldn't be pushing me away from my passions and my things and my dreams and my goals, just to be with this chick. And I don't think that. I think that's a disconnect with the partner who you choose to want to be with long term.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of people go wrong. Or, speaking of myself too, where going into something not knowing what you really want for yourself, and then expecting all these things to fall into this perfect spot
Yeah.
when really no, you really, that doesn't happen that way,
yeah,
unfortunately. But
it doesn't. That's not how life is.
and that sucks though, because I don't know. I think for me, there are some things that I realized that it's not just made for me,
Yeah.
And I have some commitment problems with myself that I have to obviously grow into knowing what's my part in these different relationships in my life.
Yeah.
But especially, marriage and relationships are a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
It's no different than having a child,
Yeah.
or going into college or starting a new career. You want to go in knowing that this is it. This is it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm starting school again. Did I tell you that?
Yay! I know that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
same. I'll
So-
start next week.
Oh my God.
So
I'm
we're gonna
trying.
be study buddies.
Yeah, I am down. I'm just trying to lock in this class because it's like, fuck, I need, so this is something that I told my daughter, was never let school get in the way of your education. And for the longest time, I just didn't want to learn anything. But, well, I mean, there was nothing that was really motivating me. It's like, okay, well, I kind of like Korean dramas, so I kind of want to learn Korean. But it was like one of those kind of things. And then it was never, school to me was never one of those things where it's like, okay, I'm going to do this so I could better myself and get a career. I never wanted to go to engineering. I never wanted to be like a mathematician or anything like that so I could be a teacher or anything like that. I never wanted to do anything that was school based. So
I know.
I never wanted to get a diploma to get a job. And that's what I was trying to instill in my daughter was I was telling her, I was like, look, go to school because you want to learn something, not because you think that it's going to, guarantee you a job, because nothing's guaranteed.
Right.
I dated somebody that had a degree, and me working behind the counter with a name tag and selling cameras, I was making more than her. And I was like,
yeah.
And it's like, why would I put my faith into this? And you have a degree. What the fuck is the point?
I know. It really, I've noticed, and I've read and I've listened to other, motivational gurus that I follow along with, and even though I am going through it, because I think it's something to teach us something about discipline and knowing how, and it's all in good of education, of course, but most of the time, like when people go to school, they don't really finish doing what they wanted to do or what they were going for.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just freaking it gets you freaking caught up in your debt, and so it's really your approach of how you look at it. If it's okay, because I know a lot of doctor friends that who are still paying off their school debt, and but they absolutely, I look at it and they're like dreading to working as a doctor, and and even though it is rewarding at the end because of what you're actually doing in the practice of medicine, you're helping people, helping lives, saving them from their miseries, but at the same time it all is about like if it's going to be worth it for you. And schooling for me, I've noticed that like I love to learn. I love the whole getting like I guess the title or like the degree of whatever you're trying to accomplish behind your name, like that again too, it's good to have, but I mean I don't know, it's like it's so overrated.
And speaking of the overrated part, what I've been trying to teach my daughter is like her social skills. So because like a lot of people like growing up, I grew up in a different era, but it's about the same. Like I think that parents are still instilling this in their kids now. It's like, go to school, get a degree, get a good job, have a family, blah, 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 this and that. And it's like, it doesn't really break down to that. Because with the school aspect of it, like, let's say as a business owner or whatever, and if I'm hiring somebody, well, I have your resume.
Right.
I know all of the shit that you learned. But the thing that's really going to get you hired is, can I look at you 8 hours a day? Can I listen to you 8 hours a day? Can I fucking stand your smell and whatever, like, can I put up with all of that? And that's the thing that I wanted to teach my daughters, because like you're gonna have, like, if you pass the first part of a resume, which is, just looking, having the business owner or the manager look at your shit, well, that's all that it is. After that, they have to get along with you. They have to be able to vibe with you. And, you can have the dopest resume in the world, but if somebody is just like, yo, this dude's breath stinks or some shit like that, it's like, yo, I can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing, too, that I learned going into, like, different jobs, working in different offices, because I've been in the medical field for almost 7 years now. And most of the time it is all girls, so it can get pretty catty. But one thing that I did get
like when your periods sync up.
Oh my gosh, that is such a real thing.
This is the worst fucking week of the month.
No, it is a real thing though. It is.
You guys just connect like fucking Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. That is so fucking weird to me.
But it does come through clutch when you're like, oh shit, I think I missed my period. I'm supposed to start. Like, did you start yours? Ooh, and that's what it really comes down to. Like,
Oh my god, that's so bad. Oh,
so bad.
I can't believe that this myth is actually true. It's so weird.
Yeah, so again, one of the things that I learned at one of my offices that I worked for, they allowed us to take personality tests, which I thought was really unique and super cool. How they laid us, it's called the 21 Strength Finders, or 2.0, to be exact.
Okay.
It's Strength Finders 2.0, and it's pretty much a personality test that goes, I think covers about like 23 personalities.
Give me an example.
Characteristics. Okay, so my top 5 was positivity.
Okay.
Maximizer. Okay. Relator. Ideation. And
the fuck is ideation?
Ideation is like, I'm good with ideas. Like, people can come to me with ideas, and like I can just be like, yo, dude, like, this sounds dope if you do it like this way. Okay. So I help brainstorm ideas to make something bigger than what we started with.
Oh, that's dope.
So yeah, that is pretty cool. I know.
And then there's one more, right?
Yeah. And what was it? Positivity, maximizer, relator, ideation, and did I say relator already? Adaptability.
Adaptability?
Yes.
Okay. Yo, you sound like the perfect employee. Like, you should be one of my managers and shit.
Dude, like I thought that was pretty sick, because not only did it only like kind of remind us of the things that we are good at, our strengths, rather than focusing our weaknesses. But they also knew how to pair us with certain teams and other physicians of how to work with them, like what where you would fit best based off of your personality and the things that you are good at. So they knew how to utilize that in a workplace. And so I think, sorry about that, guys.
It's all good.
Shit. But
Yo, so quick tip: if you're doing a podcast, airplane mode.
airplane mode. Oh my gosh, good to know. See, it's a first for everything.
Yeah. We're just learning. This is like.
I know,
Yeah.
it's so cool. It's dope.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of my good friend here and like allowing me to do this, and I'm just so honored. I'm just like, oh my god, I'm just here.
So okay, do you want to do podcasts?
I would love to. You know why? Because the way that I think of things that I've been kind of like sharing with a lot of like girls and just anybody, good friends, family, I'm down. Like I'm totally down. I'm good. I'm all about good conversations when it comes down to deep thinking and knowing the type of thinker you are. Kind of reaching out and just being a voice for little women that don't have the bigger balls enough to come up and talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm. Apparently, they say that my voice is also.
Oh hell yeah! I could fall asleep to this shit.
But no, I would love to. As long as I obviously kind of keep a vision alive with it, I think it definitely would keep sparking off certain things that I would totally want to just dive headfirst and just do it. You know, I'm all about that.
You know what's weird is like there's a lot of people that don't start podcasts because the biggest thing that I always hear is aside from I don't have the equipment for it, which all of this shit is available if you guys wanted to come to Picture Flick Studio. You know, shameless plug. But the second thing is like, oh, I don't know what to talk about. And they're like, oh, what content should I do or whatever. But how much of this was scripted?
Yeah, none.
Yeah, we just sat down, put on the headphones, turn on the microphones, turn on the camera, and you can get a lot of, you know, dude, there's so many things that we could talk about.
I know.
Like, dude, I didn't even go in on the relationships.
I know. I think that's another big thing too, because I've been trying to get little ideas of things to what needs to be heard in relationships is one of the big main ones that I keep hearing over and over.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about relationships. Oh my god. Because there's some shit that is just like horrible and just toxic and like, you know, hey guys, you're not always the one that's fucking toxic. Just because your ex is gonna be posting shit, you don't have to buy into that. Just letting you know. Just yeah.
Just saying.
You know, do you?
So you're bopo.
Exactly. But yeah, there's so many things like it's weird. I wanna be able to teach people things, but at the same time, I just want to vibe. Like if we were to just talk about, like if we were to debate which flavor of Jello is better,
oh my gosh,
I don't give a fuck.
I fucking don't like Jello unless it's Jello shots. Unless it's Jello shots, it's
Hold up, you talking about Jello? Like okay,
no,
so
okay, yeah.
Jello's delicious. There's always room for Jello.
I know. It's too sweet for me. I'm already sweet as is, so I'm just trying to.
Oh, you are.
But no, this is dope. I think podcasts. What would you consider like podcast? Like define that. Like what is it?
I don't like definitions, to be honest with you, because I think no. Okay, so this is the whole reason that I don't like definitions is because I don't like boundaries.
Oh, well.
Does that make sense? Because like
you
if
need to.
Well, okay, I understand. I'd like to understand what things are, but I, you know, like as far as like what boundaries are, but then I don't want that to be like the end, you know?
Right.
Like if it's just us talking, it's like, yo, we can have food here. I don't give a fuck. We can be eating ramen right now, or
Oh my gosh,
dude, we could
stop
be
it.
eating like we could be doing a mukbang. I don't care. But that doesn't mean that, you know, like, oh, is it all of a sudden not a podcast anymore? No, it's whatever the fuck I want to call it, because this is my
yes.
goddamn channel. I always, okay, when I was growing up,
Solid.
I wanted to be an actor. And then I was like thinking, okay, well, I don't want to be famous. So maybe I should be a soap opera actor. Because, okay, name 3 soap opera actors. Guys.
I don't know. I
Exactly.
Don't watch that.
So I could go to McDonald's and nobody's going to fucking bother me. You know, but I'll still get that money. But the reality of it is I don't have the, you know, 6'2" complexion of a soap opera actor. So what do? I went on YouTube.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
winning.
yeah. So now I get to be on small TVs, like cell phones and stuff. But the whole reason for that is like now I get to control whatever the fuck I want,
Yeah,
and
that's dope.
you know, not giving myself a complete niche or whatever. Now I can talk about whatever I want.
No, yeah, absolutely.
And I think as long as we're just talking about it, I guess that could be a podcast.
Yeah,
You know.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I mean, the ones that I tune into, they're very like obviously the main reason why I click on certain because of the topic.
Yeah.
But again, it's super organic when we're just like this, right off, just spit into whatever our heart desires. But I think through time with what your vision and things that you shared with me, I'm just like, oh, yeah, dude, I'm all for that. Let's
I
do
want
it.
to do the scripts.
Right?
I want to do the scripts. You remember when I was telling you that I wanted to do some short films?
Yes, yes, I remember. That's what really got me like, you were doing my birthday photo shoot.
Yeah.
And you shared that with me, and I was just like,
Yeah.
what? Let's do this. What
And
the
you know
hell
what?
are we doing?
It was so cool because I had nobody to talk to about that with.
Yeah.
And I was like,
thank you
oh,
for
for
sharing.
real? It's dope? You think you actually liked it? And
Dude, I mean, just based off like, do you want to go eat? It's all I wanted. Like, that's my favorite words ever. So it's like, you got me there.
That's how I say I love you. That's how I say I love you. That's how I say I'm thinking of you. That's how I say I'm sorry. That's how I say all of that.
Yeah.
Because like,
pretty much
okay,
so.
like let's say we're dating and then like I know I'm wrong, but I don't want to admit it because I'm a man.
Oh my gosh.
So I'll just walk in the room like, baby, you want to go eat?
Oh my gosh. But see, that's not all the, because you knowing that I like to eat, and you to just want to bypass all of the conversation that actually needs to happen by saying those words, it's always going to get me every time, but it's not always very the healthiest too. But again, maybe we can talk it over whatever we're eating. So that could be a good icebreaker. Or whatever.
You want to go eat?
Oh my god, let's go. I'm fucking starving.
Okay, I guess we should end it now. Okay,
Sure.
we're gonna go eat.
Yes.
Thank you
Sounds
guys.
good.
Thank you for tuning in to the unedited podcast. If you have any questions, write them in the comments below. This is a great time to do that because I'm not very popular, so you know that I'm gonna be able to answer your questions. But in the meantime, like, comment, subscribe, share, do all of that other stuff, and we will see you next time. Yes. Oh wait, where can people find you?
You can follow me on IG at therealyou_NLB. And I think on my Snapchat is Living the Dream with NLB. So.
And you know what? I'm gonna convince her to start her own YouTube channel. So as soon as she does that, I'm gonna edit whatever the comments are or the description, and I'm gonna put a link to her channel.
Awesome.
And then she's gonna surpass me, and then she's gonna
Yeah.
forget about me because I'm not very important.
Yeah, you are. You're awesome.
All right.
Love you.
I love you.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna go eat.
Later.
Bye.